Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unveil HQ. Today, we're diving into Kamala Harris's role as the so-called border czar and exposing the reality behind her tenure, one marked by skyrocketing border crossings, ineffective policies, and a massive strain on the U.S. taxpayer. Let's break down everything you need to know about Harris's failure to manage the border crisis. In March 2021, Kamala Harris was handed the responsibility of addressing the root causes of migration from Central America, a monumental task that would require decisive action and a clear strategy. But instead of curbing the influx of migrants, Harris has overseen one of the largest surges in illegal border crossings in U.S. history. We're talking about 1.7 million encounters in 2021 alone, with numbers only climbing in 2022 and 2023, reaching over 2.3 million in 1 year, a record-breaking figure. Harris's approach was to focus on just 3 countries, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. She secured $4 billion in U.S. government aid and another $5.2 in private investments, supposedly to tackle the root causes of migration. But here's the kicker. This amount is a drop in the bucket compared to the $37 billion these countries receive annually in remittances. So, what did the U.S. actually get for those billions? Programs aimed at economic development, violence reduction, and anti-corruption efforts that have shown little to no impact in curbing migration. Let's break down where the money went. Funds were allocated to create jobs and support small businesses in Central America. Partnerships were made with companies like Nespresso and Gap, but the results have been minimal at best. Efforts to reduce violence and improve public safety? Still, people are fleeing these regions in droves. Anti-corruption initiatives? Corruption remains deeply entrenched, with no significant improvement in governance. In short, billions were spent with little to show for it. And while Harris was fixated on these countries, migration from other nations like Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela skyrocketed. The situation at the border became even more chaotic, with no coherent strategy in place to address the shifting migration patterns. The result? A humanitarian crisis at the border, compounded by Harris's inability to adapt to the changing realities on the ground. Now, let's talk about the strain the surge has put on U.S. taxpayers. As migrants pour into the country, they're often provided with government assistance programs funded by your tax dollars. This includes food stamps, Section 8 housing, and other benefits that come at a massive cost. The U.S. spends billions annually on these programs. $1 billion on refugee and asylum programs, $100 billion on SNAP, $16.5 billion on TAMF, and $60 billion on housing assistance. And who's footing the bill? You, the American taxpayer. So how does this compare to the previous administration? Under Trump, the highest number of border apprehensions was just under 1 million in 2019. But thanks to policies like Remain in Mexico and Title 42, those numbers were drastically reduced by 2020. In contrast, under Biden and Harris, we've seen over 2.3 million encounters in 2022 alone, more than double the peak under Trump. These record-breaking numbers speak volumes about the failure of Harris's leadership and the lenient policies that have only fueled more illegal crossings. In conclusion, Kamala Harris's tenure as border czar has been nothing short of a disaster. Her misguided focus, ineffective use of funds, and inability to adapt to the realities of the border crisis have led to an unprecedented surge in illegal crossing and a massive burden on the U.S. taxpayer. It's time for real solutions, not empty promises. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more in-depth analysis on issues that matter.